Welcome back.
Welcome to the TAE Time Podcast. Hope everyone's good. Hope you guys are keeping well. Hope everything is okay in your life. It's cold in this time of year and all that stuff, but we're moving on still. Everyone's just trying to keep warm. Honestly, it's a struggle, but things been fine. Not too bad. How have you been?
Or like get the relationship. What's it called? Relationship? Winter relationship.
Cuffing season.
Cuffing season.
Oh yeah. I was like,
someone to keep you warm or whatever.
lol,
I don't know.
cuffing someone else so you're feeling nice and cozy.
I mean, good. If you are watching, I put up some space buns in my hair because I'm wearing.
Oh,
I don't
Space
know
Invaders.
Yeah, Space Invaders.
Lol.
So I just went hand in hand. I'm so smart.
You didn't even remember what it was called. So
I
I
was
don't know about
gonna
that one.
I was hoping you'd take over, obviously, but I was just gonna say like Space Man.
Yeah. Space
Man.
Invaders.
Space Game. Space.
Space Invaders.
Yeah.
It's a good game. That Pac-Man classics. So those ones have existed for a very, very long time.
Did you play it growing up?
Like not growing up, but yeah, I played it.
Yeah.
I did when I was young. So yeah, I know those. I never played them like on the actual, what's it called, arcade games like when I was younger. But I played them after, when they were like on all those emulators and all those stuff as well. So later on in life, that's when I played them. So yeah, and also one of those I had one of those bootleg like consoles that has a bunch of games and that was on it too. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
But no, what you got for us? Come on.
What I got for us? Okay, so this all started with a TikTok, as most ideas do. And I saw a TikTok, right, that said that it's a big thing in today's world to have like a lot of maintenance done, especially as a woman. So I guess today's episode is going to really focus on the maintenance costs of maintaining.
Of being
Ta-da.
a woman or just...
Yeah, and it's just like a lot of different like costs. And listen, it's a very like feminine talk, but I think Farouk is the biggest de-influencer and he's going to highlight why these things are not important. Obviously, I'm going to fight for the girl side for a lot of the different things. But I think it'll be interesting.
I think I'm going to be pretty quiet this episode, let me not lie, because I don't really... This is not my place to talk, honestly. So, but we'll see.
Well, you de-influence me from a lot of things. So
Nicola just likes to waste money.
I don't.
She's like an impulse buyer.
I'm not, actually.
No.
I used to be really bad. Like, I remember when, do you remember the Kylie Jenner era of the liquid lipstick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when they came out, like, I wanted everything. And this girl would come out with a different color. Like, she'd release one color and then leave it for a while, or she'd release like 2-3 colors. I'm like, I need this.
That was when she was starting off her brand, though.
Yeah.
So...
And obviously I bought some, but I didn't realize it comes with custom fees. So before I could get my package, I had to pay like 25-30 euro just to get it from the post office, because otherwise they just hold it.
Just for like 1 or 2 lip things.
Yes.
Insane.
I know.
Insane.
But I just remember like thinking back, that feeling of like, I need to have this. And I think it's a mental illness really, like when I think about it, because now I'm looking at it, I'm like, you did not need that. You did not need that.
Like, that's kind of crazy,
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think like, the like consumerism really is kind of like a big root to a lot of problems.
Yeah,
financial.
A lot of people are big consumers. Like, they don't know how to separate like needs and wants. They just think they need everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like just as you said, like everyone thinks they need everything, but you have to realize like there's only certain things you actually need, and then there are things that you want. And then it's like, the thing you want, do you have to buy it? No. Do you want
Probably
to buy
not.
it? Probably. But like, should you buy it? Probably not. So like, those are like, you have to really like break it down and like look at things and try to like categorize them. Obviously that's the best way to like get back some of your money, because like anytime you spend money you lose. like you're taking an L. You are giving into capitalism. Don't get me wrong, giving into capitalism is nice sometimes. Sometimes you just want some nice things. You just want to have enjoyment, but you have to realize that there's sometimes you just don't need to give into capitalism, and you shouldn't give into capitalism. So.
Yeah, but would you argue that like because of the world that we live in of like showing off a lot of things on social media, would you argue that a lot of people buy things to show them off or portray their lives in a certain way?
Oh, absolutely. People buy things they don't need to impress people they don't care about. Like that statement is such a true statement. Like, like you're just trying to flex on people that don't give a shit about you, or you give a shit about them. Like it's kind of that thing. And like, you see that a lot of, you guys probably have seen, interesting enough, by our Instagram, that we were at Instagram.
Shout out
to Instagram for inviting us to that event. And Shabazz was there, and like his whole thing is making it's like, I'm rich, you're poor. Pavos of like the whole thing of like people are like doing all their lavish unwrapping and so on and so forth to flex, to be like, oh my God, look at me, like restock, instead of like all this
like
stuff,
Ice Cube restock,
stuff like that, all these things. And like, it's just people flexing on you because they're like, I have money and you don't, I have more money than you. And it's literally, that's what people do. Like when people buy things that are very flashy or put money in your face, it's to feel better about themselves. And then, like, don't get me wrong, there's a way to have nice things and just do it because you want it. But then there are ways that you have nice things to flex on other people. Like take bottle culture is literally an example of consumerism and capitalism, of literally just flexing. It is like, you do not need or have to buy a bunch of bottles in the club. And like literally the drinks that people buy as bottles in the club for hundreds of dollars, you can get for like $20 if you went to the store. But it's not about that. It's about the fact that you're like, hey guys, I have money, look at me, flex, having a good time. You wish this was you.
Yeah.
That would
But they make it very easy in terms of separating you from the commoners, even in the way the club is laid out.
Yeah, stuff like that, it's all just consumerism, like in capitalism, like that's what it is. And don't get me wrong, like everyone, like I'm no holier than thou, like I fall into it, there are things I like, there are things I want to buy that like it's just like I don't need to, but obviously I want it. But like I'd never go out of my way to be like, all right, let me go flex on everybody now. Let me go flex on every single person that I have this and you don't.
Yeah, but I think what I've noticed a little bit, so this is bar influencers, people that are actual influencers who sometimes I forget that they're trying to sell something, and it's like it's kind of become so like casual that I'm not even realizing that something is being sold to me, or it's an ad or like whatever. But bar those, a lot of the people who post stuff that they have are people who don't like have a lot of money, because the people who have a lot of money and a lot of stuff don't usually like show off their things because they're casual. So like say for example, right, like you have someone who's super rich and they're just going to M&S or whatever, and they're getting like whatever bougie, or they just need a top up of their foundation, or they just need like a whatever. That's very casual for them, not something they're going to show off, or like a perfume that they want to buy,
something like that.
But, like someone who maybe like doesn't have would show it off because it's not something that they get frequently.
I get what you mean, kind of thing. Yeah, there's obviously definitely some degree to that. Like people, it is definitely people who aren't like super mega wealthy that are flexing on you. Like those guys don't really give a shit. They're too busy like making money, to really care about flexing on you. It's usually the people that are like in that mid zone where like they're rich, but not like super rich, like as in like, yes, they're able to buy all these things and do whatever and flex on you. But like, that's part of their whole thing, like they just want to because that's the amount of money. But in reality, like obviously like the people who are like super rich, they really don't give a shit about flexing on you. They're too busy making money to give a shit about like spending their money to show off to you. Like obviously they buy nice things just to have nice things, and obviously like they definitely do flex on each, but I feel like they're busy flexing on each other. Like they're not flexing on normal people. Like the people who are flexing on normal people aren't as rich as you think they are. The people who are flexing on other rich people, those are the really rich people.
I know today I saw a TikTok of like a wedding, like a super bougie wedding in Palace Garnier, or like what's the other name for it?
The Paris Opera House.
Yeah. And part of it was in there, and then there was like a thing after, and like flowers. Someone in the comments said that the flowers alone cost like $1 million. And
how did they know that?
Listen,
Where'd you get that information
flowers are
from?
expensive though, to be fair.
Yeah, but where'd you get that info from?
Regardless, I could believe it. And I'm like, oh my God, some people have money. Like, this is like the kind of stuff that you don't...
Yeah, no casual multimillionaires.
Yeah, like I know the Kardashians are super bougie and they'll do like, bougie stuff, but these are like, how are you going to rent out a whole museum?
To be honest, the Kardashians could do it if they really wanted
They
to.
probably could, but I guess it's like whatever they show, and I don't know. I guess it's like, I just expect a lot more to be able to do that, but obviously they can't because they don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, obviously, like if you only have like 10 million or something, you're not spending so much money on something like that.
Which is crazy because you're a millionaire.
Yeah, but that's not how it works. There are levels to this shit.
But I feel like because we got glimpses of the wedding, none of it was made like for social media. I think it was definitely for other people invited at the wedding.
Yeah, but it looked very, like, obviously it looks like one of those super high tech, like, they had the whole camera crew, everything, like, it wasn't just like...
But I think that's for themselves, like...
Yeah, but like, they're obviously going to put it out there, like, that's kind of like what they do, but like but when you can afford a camera crew, you can get every angle of the wedding, make it into your own little documentary movie of your wedding.
Yeah.
At that stage, like...
Yeah, just thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
It must be nice to have money.
It must be nice. Someone... If you're a millionaire and you listen to this podcast, just hit DMM. No, send me some money. Just send me a few million. Send me a few million and then sponsor the pod.
Okay.
Me personally.
Anyways, moving on to the actual maintenance that we were talking about and the cost of different things. So I have a list of things that I want to get through. And the first maintenance cost is nails. Nails has become a very lucrative market. So if you're starting to do it, you're getting good money out of it. And the prices of nails have gotten like really insane. I remember I used to get my nails done all the time when I was younger. That was like my nail era. I would pay 35 to 40 for a full set and like full on design. I would let this girl go freestyle on my nails. And now I'm paying 60, 65, 70 euro for a whole set, which is nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so the question is it a necessity? Is it not?
You should tell us. You're the woman in the room.
No, because
I don't do anything with my nails.
You're meant to influence women.
Yeah, but give us your answer first. You should be giving us the answer first because you are the woman. So don't let a man's voice speak on this issue first. Like.
Yeah. I think that having pretty nails or like a manicured hand is important in terms of like looking clean, right? I think a nice basic manicure is a necessity. Like if you're like, okay, it sounds bad, like it's not a necessity.
So when you say necessity, you mean the need, like you need it.
Oh no, these are not needs like water, shelter.
Okay,
these are like
these are wants.
Yeah, but wants that are like I can get behind. Do you get me?
Like core wants.
Yeah. Like, if you're an office girl or something,
as in like, sense. Even if you have very little money left,
no,
you would still do these things.
But here's the thing: even if you have little money, it doesn't cost a lot to buy a cheap nail polish in the store, file your nails down, and just paint them that color.
But that's just more like grooming. That's not really like nails.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the part that I think is a necessity.
Yeah, like everyone should cut their nails.
Like file them up, make them look
They don't have to look pretty, but like at least
they should look
not have super long nails. Like, like clean them down. Whether you want to file them, whether you want to cut them, like basic hygiene. So you don't have gunk underneath your nails.
Ew. Yeah, but I like that. That's the one thing that I would, argue that like people should do.
But you don't have to pay for that necessarily because you can just it's a one-time cost though. Like when you get a filer, you get a cutter, and that's all. Like I'm not talking about painting your nails.
Polish. No, come on, this is for women. It's nice to have a little color on, and maybe you want 2 or 3 or 4.
Okay.
Do you know what's a really good investment that I
But
made?
how long do those last? Sorry for interrupting. How long do those nail
Like a
polishes and
week.
colors
Oh,
last?
you can get like 3-4 uses out of it.
So the cost per wear is literally like whatever it's price times 4. I mean, divided by 4, sorry.
Yeah. Which it's cheaper, obviously, than going to get them done.
Yeah, I
right?
guess.
But like it's still like that will chip easy, whatever. Obviously, gel nails are last longer or whatever. I think one of the best investments I made is buying my nail kit at home, because when I started liking to get my nails done again, I realized that it's not a cost I'm willing to dash out every, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, whatever, how long they last. And I was like, if I spend like, one session worth of money, I could get the whole kit at home.
But was it one session worth of money? Or was it more than that though? Like
No,
two sessions?
I paid 70 for the lamp. Like I got a whole kit with the whole lamp and everything for, I don't know, like 50 something.
Yeah.
And then obviously I got colors, and the rest were not needed, but I wanted to have more.
Okay.
Do you get me?
But how about the little thingies? The things you put in your nail. Was that part of the kit?
Yeah, but some were, but I wanted more.
Well, how much were those? Like that, yeah, they have to factor into all the costs.
Oh, overall, I think I paid maybe 120.
Okay.
But
So like 2 nail sessions to start off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have everything.
That's fair.
Everything.
And then you can do your nails for a long time by yourself.
Yeah.
But you also have the upfront learning cost, which means that you're going to mess up some nails, which means you're losing some. But obviously, I digress. It's still cheaper in the long term if you get the hang of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So you'd say nails in what capacity is a necessity? Well, a want necessity. Like you're stopping off at the painting your nails, polishing your nails, like filing them down, or are you going all the way till like the whole nail kit would also be like a nice necessity nail?
I think it'd be nice to have, because it's a once-off payment. Obviously, unless it breaks, whatever. But I think it's good to have, I guess. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
But how about if a girl doesn't want to put in that effort or doesn't have the skill? And
that's
they
the
just want
thing,
that.
right? Because that's where it comes in of like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I think obviously, I've seen a lot of girls be like, oh, like my nails cost like places like New York or whatever, they cost a lot more. Girls are paying over $100 for nails, which is like,
damn.
What? How can you afford that? So I think it's like, but as well, what you get done matters as well. I would say actually going to a salon, I would keep that for events like birthdays, holidays, Christmas, maybe, that kind of like, it's like a treat. I think if something becomes like a repetitive cost, it's no longer a treat. Like it, because I think going to a salon and getting pampered is not like a necessity.
Okay, so like then you're saying nails maintenance is not something, isn't a maintenance cost that you should be indulging in then.
I think it is, but at home.
But no. Let's forget the at-home remedy right now. Let's talk about going and getting your nails done, because that's what most girls are doing. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right? Is it a maintenance cost that a girl should factor into her budget every month? That's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to attack everything. Is this something a girl should budget into her monthly spending, getting her nails done?
No, not on occasion, not like frequent month to month.
So you wouldn't add it as part of the budget?
No.
You heard that, ladies. Nails should not be part of your monthly budget.
I'm sorry.
From a girl, I didn't say it. She said it.
So anyway, would you?
Oh no, God no.
Oh, so he just said it.
No. Like, in my humble opinion, I don't think it's something I would be more of this times like, you should probably only be getting your nails done like every time you want to like do a big event. Like I wouldn't even get your nails done for like a date with a guy, because let's be honest, it's a waste of money, because he really doesn't give a shit. Like most guys don't care. Honestly, they really don't care. They don't notice it.
So guys don't care about nails at all.
Like I think there are guys who care. Like you hear like, even in some rap verses, like, oh, when she has white toes or whatever, stuff like that, or anything. I really don't care. And I know a lot of guys that just don't care. Like, I would say majority of guys don't care about nails. They don't notice it. They don't see it. They don't really acknowledge it,
How about, like,
So,
do you know, like, the batty nails, the long.
I feel like nails is
guys
literally.
like those.
I think nails is definitely more for other girls. You know, and like that's something that I think other girls care more about and appreciate than the guys do. So I wouldn't even waste money on getting your nails done for a day. I would say if you're gonna get your nails done, get it for your birthday, get it for your holiday, get it for like maybe your friend's birthday, like a female friend, I mean, like not like or maybe a male friend if you gonna have a bunch of people, like something that other girls or whoever else that you're trying to. Because, like, in reality, like, yes, you're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it because you want other people to be like, oh, my God, your nails are pretty. Or, like,
yeah, it feels nice.
It feels nice. So, like, get it for an event in which there will be other people, whether they say it or not, will appreciate it. Don't be just doing it for a day. I don't think it makes sense, right? And that's why, like, I don't think you should be factoring nails into maintenance costs, whether you have a boyfriend, whether you are, like, talking about, oh, my God, this is money I use towards a date. You shouldn't be factoring because it's something that, honestly, it's not a necessity. Like, you should be doing it for when you want it, and specifically more for special events, not for just I wouldn't factor it into your budget personally. I think it's a waste of money.
Okay.
Personally. But I'm just a man. I'm a stupid little man with a stupid little peanut brain. Like I know nothing about women's issues.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you on that one, so we're on the same page. The next one we have is makeup.
Oh, come on. I want to hear what you
do.
You
first.
No,
I started
never,
last one.
never.
Last one.
I will always give my opinion after the fact, and I will be honest with my opinion, but I will give it after the fact. So, what is the story with nail? What's the story with makeup? Let's start off with the question: is should it be part of your monthly budget, and why? If so,
I think whatever. Okay, here's my problem with makeup, right? I'm very for having a kit, like a makeup kit of like products that you use. I'm against having makeup in excess.
Okay.
I think that having a solid foundation, concealer, mascara, whatever it is that I use these things every single time I do my face, even if it's just casual or whatever. I have a makeup palette, whatever. Now, this is obviously unless you're like a makeup influencer or whatever. That's obviously different.
Yeah,
that's
obviously, that's just why it's a fact. Like,
but for a regular girl, I think with the whole consumerism, influencers, it's so common to have 50 shades of lipsticks, 50 palettes that you'll never get around to. These all have expiry dates on them anyway. Like, you're not getting around them. And should you budget it in your monthly cost, whatever you're low on? Yes, I think if I need a foundation and I need to top it up, I will budget for it. But makeup can last a bit longer than a month, so maybe it could be every 2 months, every 3 months, whatever you're low on.
Like a quarterly thing, or yeah. And then, but then how about like maintenance, like makeup? So like we're talking now like dates, and maybe sometimes like some girls do like putting on heavy makeup every day. Like let's say for example they're going to the office and they just feel better going into the office with heavy makeup every day, and then or there's some girls are using heavy makeup every time they leave the house or so on and so forth. How about that scenario then? Like what would you like, especially if you're using heavy makeup? When I say heavy makeup, I just mean using like all the products, a lot of product, and like not just like mascara, eyeliner, or anything like that. You're using like foundation, you're using the concealer, the whole thing. You're taking time every morning out of your day to do your makeup, like, we're talking standard like 30 minutes or so. And so women who are doing that consistently, they're probably running through their makeup a lot faster than, let's say, you would run through your makeup. So maybe they do have to get it monthly. What would you say in that scenario? That is it something that you'd advise them to reduce, or something that'd be like, all right, be consistent with that and just pack as part of your monthly budget, and just as long as you stay within, as you said, the ones that you use all the time? Or would you say like, oh, maybe try to cut it back?
That's such a difficult question. Why did you ask that?
I'm interested.
This is so difficult, right? I think genuinely budget for it, because it's obviously something that makes you happy, right? I think leaving the house with like a full face of makeup or whatever makes you happy. I'm not someone who goes heavy on makeup, but I have friends who do, and that's just their thing and they like doing it. And I don't think you should deny yourself joy, because like whatever, like it is more expensive, but at the same time it's still gonna last a while. So even if you're doing a full face of makeup, whatever, you're not hitting pan or like empty bottles by the end of a month regardless. It's probably going to be every 2 months for you, every 3 to 4 months for me.
Okay, it would last how much? Like
it would, yeah.
okay.
Like
like if you're doing it every day, are you sure? Like I don't know, guys. I genuinely don't. So that's not like. Do you think like I've seen your pads? They seem pretty thin. So I'm wondering if you're using that every day, like heavily.
Wait, what's this?
Like whether it's like
like
any of the makeup products. Like I've kind of seen them. They all seem pretty thin layer or whatever and small. And I'm wondering if you're using it every day heavily, like at least once a day. Like, you know, some people maybe there are some girls who like would go to the gym, you know, and they want to use makeup. So that means it's a second apply, you know, they would have to do. Yeah. But let's even just take the case of one apply every day. Do you think it would last more than a month? Like,
I don't know. It depends, obviously, person to person.
And I guess it depends on what product you're buying.
And what products you're buying as well. Some will last. Like, eyeshadow palettes are lasting you a while. Like, there's they
like
take
it shouldn't go
time.
through like that.
Yeah. I think if you can afford it, obviously budget for it. If you're struggling, that's when it becomes a little bit more difficult, right? Because you're like, okay, I'm going through a whole foundation in a month. Let's have a look at how you're using this foundation. You know, let's have maybe you reduce a little bit, and like maybe have heavy makeup days for special occasions throughout the month. Maybe keep it to only Fridays. Maybe, you know, that kind of thing. Try to cut back a limit or something like that. Cut back a little bit. But like, yeah, I think if it brings you joy, like budget for it. I think, like I said, the issue is excess, and I think so many girls struggle with that. I reduced mine to one bag when we started traveling a lot, and it became really frustrating to not have these are my items that I really like and I want to bring anywhere I go. And don't get me wrong, I understand that there's people who, and we'll get this into later, like, you know, tan and have 2 different shades of foundation. I can get behind that. I understand it. Or maybe you have certain products that you like using in the summer because they have SPF in them or whatever. I can get behind that, but but those are fine because it's like a one time. Like, let's be honest, it's not like you're tanning a day in, day off. Like it's literally like a seasonal thing. Exactly. So I understand you maybe have different products.
Yeah, like that would probably even last a very long time because
it'll last the summer, you know. Yeah, which is fine. Like I can get behind that. It's just the excess. Like, you don't need.
Yeah, I guess like I saw you're talking about it more to the point of like how like for example, we do know like makeup is always targeted towards like they are the prime consumers of makeup, and it's always ads, always bombarding. You're seeing lots of different like beauty gurus, different girls telling you this, doing whatever, and it's always on your TikTok feed, your Instagram feed, whatever. So you're saying that you shouldn't fall into the trap of like, oh my God, that's a new one I haven't seen. Oh, this one says it does this one that. It should be like, this is what I use, and I will constantly use that. Unless but then how about the situation of like someone who feels like, oh my God, I really want to try all these different ones. That's where it's difficult, you know, right? Like it's like what do you do for that one? Like, you know, people who are maybe like more prone to consumerism and they're getting all those things. Like, what would you give them advice then for makeup? You know?
Yeah, I think first of all, if you see a product, like write it down or whatever, and if after 3 days, 4 days you still want it, then you can have it. But I think maybe have like whatever amount of your budget, leave it aside for like a new product a month or a new whatever, you know. And if you have a budget set in place, then you're a lot less likely to buy 3 different things when you could just buy one. Like I remember I really wanted to try a new foundation, but I didn't know if it was going to work for me, if it was not going to work for me. So I got it because the airline lost all my stuff. So I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity to do that. I ended up not liking it. And then now I'm like, well, I still need to buy my old one now because I wanted to try something new. But what I'm doing it now is just using it for our podcast, because it's just like, I need to get through it. It just really bugs my mind to not go through stuff. I'd hate wasting it. But like it's difficult. Like there was like Glow Recipe came out with a serum that I really wanted to try, and it's like it's on the pricier side. Like, do I buy it? And I remember I like budgeted for it. I got it, and I really like it. Okay. You know, so it's just
it's about kind of like
it's hard
trying to strike some kind of balance.
Yeah, or maybe get like a mini size or travel size to test it out first rather than a full size.
Yeah, before
product.
going full on deep in on everything.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's you know, one of my friends, she goes into stores and she asks for testers.
Yeah.
So they give her like a little pot, goes through them, see how she likes it, that kind of thing.
I think that's a smart decision to do
Yeah.
with the testers. I think that makes the most sense.
So what do you think?
I think makeup is definitely, like, for most women, is definitely a necessity. Like, I couldn't argue otherwise. Honestly, it'd be quite foolish for me to do so. Like, it is one of those things where, like, I think forget about dates, forget about events, whatever. Some women just enjoy using makeup, and like, whether for themselves, whether for other people, it doesn't, like, up to them. But it's definitely something that maybe makes them feel a little bit more confident, feels whatever. And so, like, if that's something that you do feel like you need, whether it's daily, whether it's sporadically, I think it is something you should definitely, like, have, you know, and, like, probably budget for if that is this case. Like, if it's something that, you know, like, okay, I need XYZ every month, then I should do it. But, like, I would obviously agree with Nicola that I think you should be very careful about that budget. Like, you should like, if you catch yourself like, man, why am I doing this? Like, getting this every month, you know, like, you're just like, oh my God, like you are literally like, man, you feel the impact of buying it. Like, every time you want to buy, you're like, oh my God, like, I'm going to have to cut like a meal out or something like that. Like, you like, obviously that's excessive, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, if you're ever in that scenario, then you're like, okay, how do I cut back on this? And like, you need to cut back in a way that's realistic, a way that's obviously not going to ruin your self-esteem, you know, as well. But like, also that's going to like help you. So like, I think when it comes to that, it is definitely maintenance that is understandable, but obviously the excessiveness is the part you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot about makeup there. On to the next massive industry in today's day and age that wasn't so big before, skincare.
Yeah, I knew this was I was actually going to say something about skincare while we were talking about makeup, but I was like, it's probably on that list.
It's on the list. It's a huge market. It wasn't like this when I was younger. I'm seeing a lot of kids on TikTok using skincare. This is relevant for men too. Maybe,
yeah, this is definitely going to be a interesting one from my perspective anyway, in comparison to Nicoletta.
Well, you have such a good skin.
Because her and I are very different. Like, I can start off with this one. I really don't care. Like, I generally don't think skincare is a necessity, and I don't think it's a maintenance thing. Like, I think skincare comes simply as moisturizer, face wash, and body wash.
But that's skincare.
Like,
I would consider that skincare.
But I wouldn't consider it like a maintenance due to the fact that, one, like, you should be buying a body wash no matter how much you need it. Just don't buy expensive. Like you shouldn't be buying expensive body wash. But like, whether it's bar soap, whatever, I don't care. Wash yourself. Wash yourself, please. You know. But and then the face wash, I would half putting in there because like, it is better to just like change, like, instead of, you shouldn't be using like 3. I know like guys had the whole joke of 3 in 1, you know, hair, body, face, whatever. But no, like, you can pay a little bit because like, it's not too bad because those things, because you're not meant to use a lot of them, so they last. Like I get the CeraVe like face wash and I use that solely, and that lasts me usually like 2 months, a little bit more, because you just use a little bit, wash your face, and it's just like, because that has a little bit more hydration, especially because your face is a sensitive area. You don't really want to put any random, like, whether it's bar soap or whatever towards your face. Like, you know, you can have whatever there. And this is coming from a guy who was literally only started using face wash like maybe like a year ago. Guys, like, literally, it is that new to me.
I'm so extremely jealous of that because my mom like would be the same. Amazing skin. Yeah,
like, I've never really ever had to use anything. So like, for me, like, as I said, I'm talking from a point of privilege. Like, I like skincare is something that moisturizer is the most I've been using for most of my life, and it's been working decently. You guys would be like, oh yeah, you have a fucking, yes, I have a wrinkle because I scowl a lot. I have a mean face. You know, if I didn't have a mean face, this would be smooth. Everything would be smooth.
But then you wouldn't be you.
Yeah, I know, it wouldn't be me. And then I only have bags in my eyes because I don't sleep. So, and I don't care. But like, the more of the story is, I really don't think it's that deep. Either way, whether you have good skin, whether you have bad skin, I think skincare only becomes somewhat of a necessity if it is actually hindering your life, right? Because I don't think anyone should feel insecure about whatever their skin feels. And I know that's a big statement to say, both coming from me and also in general, because I haven't dealt with it. But for me, when it comes to insecurities, I don't think you should be insecure about your skin in the first place, right? Like, if you have like pimples, it's whatever, like, it's just, it is what it is. Humans have whatever, you know, and just move on with it. You know, like, I think the necessities, if you have something like medical, let's say like eczema, like my youngest brother, he suffered from eczema, and like that is something you genuinely need specific products for, and you need to kind of like sort out, you know, because it's very irritating, and it's like it impedes your actual life. It's not even like a physical look or anything. It's literally like you're itchy, you're, you know, all those uncomfortable. It literally impedes your way of living. So like, but I would say any skincare that doesn't impede your way of living, honestly, it's really not that deep.
But I would argue that people, like a lot of people with acne, would feel like that's impeding their way of life.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm definitely talking from like a point of like a different sense, because I've honestly, even through puberty, through it, I've never dealt with acne. Like, the most I ever have is like a random spot here and there, like once a month maybe, you know. Like, I've never dealt with like full blown, like literally having like acne in my face or anything like that, you know. But like at the same time, I would feel like, unless it's literally like causing you like itchiness or whatever, like I think you should just not care. Like, obviously, like, and especially I think maybe the reason I say this is because I have seen on the internet that there's so many different things for this, that, and everyone is trying every single fucking remedy underneath, every single serum, every single whatever, to try to treat their acne, and it just doesn't ever do shit. You know, like, it's just hopping from one thing to another, trying to see what, like, hopping on to the next trend or whatever, trying to see what's going to work, and nothing works. It's just like a massive hole of money sink that just, like, if acne is really something that like you feel very self-conscious about, and you feel like you just, like, it's mentally really bugging you, just go to a dermatologist.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, but I'll just say quick, like, just go to a dermatologist, get treatment, and then do that. Period.
Obviously, like I dealt with acne, so it's something really close to me and my experience, because I got it as an adult. It wasn't even as a teen, so it was really difficult. Like, I was like, oh my god, what is going on? And it was at the time where the skin craze was going on. There's so many different products, and I remember getting like a whole set of like 8-step 15-step routine, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to see results, whatever. And, you know, I didn't see results. Like, my acne didn't stop at all, and I was trying so many different things. I got to a point where I was like, it was just so depressing to even like see myself, or like look in the mirror. I always wanted to cover my face, or like use makeup to hide it and stuff like that. And I remember my mom was just like, okay, that's enough. Like, you need to go to a dermatologist, like a specialist who can have a look at your face. And I went to, you know, a dermatologist, and it was obviously the best thing I did. I got like treatment for it, and my acne cleared up. And now I'm left with a lot of scarring and stuff, because I didn't go early enough, which is exactly what you should do. And if you're listening and struggling with it, that is what you should do. And like, it doesn't have to be like a specialist. For me, it was more like a family doctor who was also had like experience like with that field. Exactly. So it doesn't have to be like some expensive bougie place. Exactly. It could just be, you know, like a simple doctor to have a look. And I think that helped me a lot, and it cut back so much of my cost once I did that, because I think I have a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, a good SPF. I would argue, I think SPF is important.
The list is just climbing.
And for me, I have my acne treatment, and that's just something that I use, you know, whatever. I was very big into like getting like eye cream, serums, and I'm so hesitant in trying new products, because they will break me out. Like, anything new, my skin is like, oh, what is this new product? We don't like it. So I think it's like Ferg said, you know, like, definitely go see a specialist.
Absolutely. Like, even like me, I have very sensitive skin, like super sensitive skin. So like, I'm always just like, to me, always like, if I could have had it, I would have had it. Like, that's why I feel like just being basic, using the, like, obviously I don't, as I said, I don't suffer from acne, but like just using the bare basics, face wash, body wash. I've managed pretty long in my life. without any hiccups. So, it's one of those things, guys. Like, honestly, I'm telling you, just be simple. Just be simple and clean. That's all.
Yeah. So, are we budgeting skincare as part of maintenance?
I wouldn't, personally.
But you just said face wash, moisturizer.
But, like, once again, as I said, moisturizer and body wash, you should be buying regardless, right?
Yes, but
and then,
when you have a different moisturizer than your body moisturizer, it becomes a separate cost.
But my moisturizer is the same moisturizer.
Okay. See, no, a lot of that stuff is heavy fragrance and stuff like that.
No, like, as in, like, we're just talking box standard, like, Vaseline moisturizer.
Yeah, a lot of people, can't use that on their face because it's heavily fragranced.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's why Aveeno was good for your skin.
Sucks to be you guys. Like, I don't know, like, I guess, like, maybe if you're gonna budget it and you have to do it, like, very little, but I still think it's a little bit excessive. I think just have a moisturizer, have a body wash, have a face wash, you're maybe getting like once a quarter,
yeah.
And I think that's all. That's very like easy budgeting, like, like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I don't go to my skincare like barely at all because your face is pretty small.
Like you shouldn't be spending like, if you're spending more than 20 quid on all of that combined, there's an issue. My personal opinion.
Oh no, 20 quid. Like, my prescription costs like a little bit more.
No, we're not talking about you. We're talking about like people who are generally just a normal person, no one having acne treatment. Like, you're just getting body wash, moisturizer, face wash.
Yeah.
That's like 20 quid. Like, the most expensive thing there is the face wash. And that's, you only buy that like once every 2 months. Like, or maybe, and like even the rest are like €4, like €3,
Wait, for what?
For like body like thing. Yes. Like,
I don't know. Things are expensive these days.
I know, but like it's like €5. It's like €5 for like moisturizer now. Like around that.
When was the last time you bought moisturizer?
On sale in Superdrug.
No, it's €8 for a Vaseline.
Yeah, I got it for €5 in the Superdrug store.
Yeah,
not an ad.
If you catch it on sale, you can get it for 4 or 5.
Always buy things on sale, guys. Don't ever buy things.
I stock up. Like, I'd buy 4 or 5.
Like, if you see it on sale, buy 2.
But what if you can't afford it?
Like, sale is when you should be buying things. Like, that's one thing my parents have taught me. Always buy sale. Always buy sale. Don't ever buy the price you see.
Like, keep
wait.
One of your friends saying like their parents has like a spare microwave. It was on sale. You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
No, but listen. The other thing. So I would budget that into my cost, whatever. The other thing is lashes, right? Lashes is huge. Men have big opinions. Give us yours.
I have no opinions on lashes, and I'm not ever getting into this topic. So, Nicola, tell us what you're thinking. That is my answer. I'm being dead ass. You're hearing nothing about.
You can be controversial. That's okay.
Controversial. It's not controversial.
Okay, is it true that men think they kind of look like caterpillars?
I can't confirm or deny. I don't think they look like. I don't think they look like caterpillars personally. Like, normal lashes don't anyway. But okay. I think lashes definitely a waste of money. Absolutely a waste of money. Absolutely, unequivocally, I will never hear anything from any woman, any man, any person ever in the world. Lashes is an absolute waste of money. You have eyelashes already. Why are you buying them? There is no need. Like, the most I would ever say lashes maintenance you'd ever do is it's mascara. It's mascara, right?
Yeah, but that's just part of makeup, right?
Yeah, mascara. Yeah, that's part of makeup, right? Mascara. Okay, I'm not crazy, guys. I thought I was about to say something stupid on the internet. Not the first time. But mascara is the most I would ever think a woman should ever spend on lashes. Once again, this is coming from a man, so I am not the expert and I'm not the voice of reasoning here. I'm just giving my opinion.
Oh, this clip is so good.
I'm just giving my opinion as a man. But lashes are dumb. They're honestly a waste of money because, like, you already have eyelashes on your eyes. Just mascara if you want it to be nice and dark, and if you want them to flick upwards, do that. Done. Because let me tell you right now, you putting on those big ass caterpillars on your eyes. No guy cares or finds them attractive. No guy is looking at you and be like, I'm glad she put them caterpillars on her eyes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been interested. No guy cares. If anything, I think personally, it's minus points if you have super thick, like, caterpillar eyelashes. I think the more natural looking it is, the better. Like, don't get me wrong, if you want to use fake lashes, feel free, but don't use massive big ones. Just use normal, as if I couldn't tell the difference that were your eyelashes. Kind of like as if like I'm like, oh, those are eyelashes. But no, don't get me wrong. I don't look at women's eyelashes and be like, that is giving.
I think women do a lot more to men. Like, oh my god, your eyelashes are
I hear that so much more. It's like, oh my god, you have such nice eyelashes. Like stuff like that. Like they're like, oh my god, I wish I had your eyelashes. I'm like,
I think it's.
but you have eyelashes.
I think it's like because it opens your eye a little bit, brings more attention to your eyes, maybe a little bit more feminine.
You guys are crazy. Honestly, I don't see it. I really don't see it. I think it's really not that deep. I honestly think eyelashes are the biggest waste of money, and that is where I end my rant and opinion. What do you think?
I agree. Obviously, I just don't think getting your eyelashes done is a necessity. I think this kind of falls under the same category of like if you want to have them for an event or whatever, it makes sense. I wouldn't even do that. But once you start and then take them off, your lashes are going to get destroyed over time. You're going to have no lashes left, and it's just not worth even starting. What you can do is you can get the kit that you can do at home. One of my friends recently did it while she was over, and she was just chatting to me doing her eyelashes, and they looked so good. And
what is it, like you stick eyelashes into your...
it's kind of like that, but it washes out after 3 to 4 days. They kind of
like you stick them into your eyelash holes.
So you have no idea how lashes work, do you?
No, I've seen the fake ones where you glue them on.
But no, when you go to the salon,
I thought the way they would do is they attach them onto your
existing lashes.
Existing one. Yeah,
so that's the same thing you do at home.
Oh,
you take one by one with the tweezers and just glue it to your own.
Okay,
it's the same thing.
Damn, microscopic and all.
Yeah, but it kind of has the same effect, and it doesn't like damage your natural lashes like much or whatever. I think the most I can go with lashes is maybe getting a strip lash. Like the strip, and you glue that on. Even that's a waste of money. No, I don't think it's a necessity.
And then you get pink eye.
Not from that. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, like when girls' eyes are red because of how thick the eyelashes are, and it irritates their eyes. That's what I meant by pink eye, guys. I didn't mean literal pink eye. I meant like your eyes end up being red and watery. Yeah.
No. Anyways, I think a strip lash I can get behind for an event or like whatever you want to have, like more dramatic.
But why?
Because it's a more dramatic effect. You know the way you said heavy makeup?
Okay, but like do you agree and accept that men don't give a shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot of things that girls do, men don't care.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not saying that women are doing it for men either, by the way. I'm just saying that. Like,
you're saying women do it for men?
No, I'm like women do most things for other women. Yeah. So like you guys are doing it for each other. Just to flex on each other's. Look at my eyelashes.
No, I don't think so.
Like, look how pretty
I don't think so. I think women genuinely like it just... I like how I look with lashes on when I have like a glam makeup going on. I think it's like, wow, pizzazz. But I think day to day, mascara is enough. Like mascara is enough. You do not need more. Maybe you can do a little bit of eyeliner to make it a little bit more dramatic. But
budget for lashes is a big 0 from me, and I mean 0 in your lifetime. Like, because I count mascara as part of makeup. So
no. I'm on board and I'm with you. And on to the next one. This could have been a long episode, but I think it's good. I think it's important. I think people need to hear, especially coming up to Christmas, The next one we have here is hair. Grooming hair, getting your hair done, that kind of thing. You as a man get trims regularly. Is that part of your monthly budget?
Regularly? Not at all.
I mean,
they're not at all. There was a point the most I will say is there was a 4-month span in which I got a trim every month due to the fact that I had things I wanted to do and so on and so forth. I do not think you need to do it, both as a man or a woman. I don't think you need to do too much of a haircut. You guys know this. I don't know why I'm telling you. You guys have seen me. I look like a hobo half the time on this podcast. Hair growing out of freaking every part of my head. I don't care. I generally don't, and I don't just sit in my house. I generally, I go outside of my house looking like a hobo.
But you look good.
The max I will ever do is I have a trimmer at home, and I'll cut it off, like, like excess neck hair or like excess thing. But when it comes to actual like haircuts and stuff, like, you don't need to do them often at all. It should not be part of your budget. I think if you want to look good for like a birthday, an event, or something, like you're on a holiday, okay, get a trim. But if you are even just going on a casual night out, there's no need for a trim. Honestly, like, I don't, and even like, I know this is going to sound crazy. But even for a date, I don't think you need a trim. I think all you need is just look clean. Like, like, as I said, just like remove the little excess, like get a little home trimmer and just line yourself up. Like, realistically, most you need is to line yourself up. Man. But, and I'm talking about from a point in which you're going on dates all the time. Like, you there has to be a line, right? Otherwise, you're getting a trim all the time. I'm talking this as a man, like, you're getting a trim all the time. That's too much. You can't get trims that often. It's not financially responsible, and it makes no sense. So you need to either, one, just line yourself up at home, or two, learn to cut your own hair. Like, and that's the most I will ever allow anyone to do, is like, learn to cut your own hair. Because like one of my friends, shout out Henroski, he for the longest time cut his hair at home by himself. He cuts his own hair. He always cuts his own hair, right? Does it look kind of wonky sometimes? But, maybe. It still looks good. And I'm like, damn, I wish I knew how to cut my own hair. But I had just no interest in learning. And because I don't get haircuts frequently enough, I can justify spending the money. And don't get me wrong, it's a hard justification because haircuts are fucking expensive right now, and in this economy. But I can justify getting a haircut because the last time I got a haircut was just there before we went to London, right? Before that, I think I went like 2-3 months without getting a haircut. I just don't care. I genuinely don't care. And I know it's hard for most people because, like, don't get me wrong, haircut saves men's lives a lot. Yes. Especially in comparison to women. Like, as in, a haircut can get a guy looking from a 5 to a 9. Yes. Like, it can make a massive difference. But I think even just lining yourself up can get you from a 5 to a 7. Like, you don't need to look like the 9 all the time. Like, you have to balance, especially if you're, as I said, if you are a man and you are going on multiple dates, like you're single and dating, difficult. you need to figure out either to cut your own hair or start only lining yourself up, because it's not easy out here.
I'm going to disagree. For men.
I know.
Because
it's expensive.
Firstly,
it's expensive.
You are so privileged. You have a full beard, full set of hair. Like, you look good. Like, naturally, like, you don't have to, all you need is line up and you look even better, kind of thing. There are guys who are not so privileged, and maybe they don't need to grow facial hair. Okay, that's fine. That's cheap. They don't need to do anything there. But, like, it's hard to, learn to get the haircut that you want at home. And if I was a single guy and I'm going to go on a date or whatever, like, I wouldn't risk my hair for me to learn at home. It's just not worthwhile. And I think that women have a lot of costs, made today's cost as it is, like makeup and like whatever. I think it's something that men should, like, it's okay for them too, especially if you're going to an office or whatever and you want to look more put together. A hair
guys, I used to go to the office looking like a bum too. I even forgot about that one.
Listen, I think I can justify it. I can say it is a necessity.
No, I cannot justify it. I'm sorry, lads. I cannot justify it. And obviously, like, one thing as well, because I didn't touch on it, I think it's completely waste of money for girls as well. Like, you guys get haircuts and it looks like nothing happened. Like, don't get me wrong, I notice when girls get haircuts. I'll be like, oh my God, you got a haircut? And then they're like, oh my God, thank you for noticing.
I notice. Noticing girls' haircuts?
Like your mother, my mother, so on and so forth.
I don't know about
anyway,
that
yeah, I have plenty of times your mom's gonna cut her hair and I told her, and then she'll be like, oh my God, my boy. But and then she'll be like, oh my God, I like, she always says she doesn't like it, But either way, I notice people when women get haircuts. But at the same time, as I said, it's literally such a minute difference. Like, assuming they don't chop off like a fuck ton of your hair.
Like when I chop my hair.
You know, like they literally is so unnoticeable.
Yeah.
And you guys, and the reason I would say is because you guys spend way too much money. Like just to get a normal, simple, it's like 100 and something. Screw that. It's a waste of money. Waste. Like, I understand, like maybe it's like, oh my God, but like I don't want it to just be even. I don't want it to just be even.
Listen.
Well, then just cut in an angle.
I gave up haircuts. Like I was like, no, I can do it. I can do this at home.
Yeah.
You know,
And do you not feel amazing now?
No, but listen, so I did that, right? But like there's this whole thing about you need to trim every 3 months. You need to trim every I'm like, girl, side eye, no I don't. Like, listen, hairstylists will jump on you if you say anything like that. Like, yes, of course you do, science, blah blah blah. I like it's like people who are like smokers or like vape. Like I don't care what you have to say. I'm not gonna stop, you know. And I'm not gonna go cut my hair every 3 months. I don't really care. I'm gonna grow it out and then like chop it myself. Now, when I did this chop of like my curly cut, it makes it a bit harder for me to cut it at home. So I'm gonna have to go to someone who knows how to deal with curly hair and get a curly cut. Maybe whatever I'm ready next, you know. I don't know when that is, but I think I can justify it once a year for myself. That sounds crazy. Maybe twice a year, you know, whatever. But then there's like this whole dyeing your hair. Like blonde girl maintenance is expensive.
And that's a whole...
Very expensive.
Unless you're doing crazy colors, just use your natural hair.
But even if you're doing crazy colors, that's expensive.
Oh yeah, I know. I absolutely. But like at least like if it's like that's like at least it's something different. Not just some blonde basicness. Like just, you know, do something different, guys. Be creative.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's because then obviously it's important to kind of understand, like with hair care, like it's very different for black girls as well.
Yeah, but that's a whole different, like, yeah, like when you're talking about like people with like 4C hair or whatever, hair care, like I was talking about cutting your hair. That's
no,
different.
I'm talking about hairstyles right now.
Yeah, like even
so like because I know they do a lot of protective hairstyles that you need to pay for.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. Like even just like getting braids, like that's an expensive ordeal, and trying to get them in, you know, like that. Like even if you're a guy and you get braids in, like as a black man, like whatever, that's an expensive ordeal that you have to do, you know, like and everything. That makes sense, right? But I'm talking about like more of like people with just basic hairstyles. People with just basic, like if you're growing a fro, if you're keeping it low, if you're doing whatever, like it's really not that deep. But obviously if you're doing like protective hairstyles where you're doing braids or you're doing like barrel twists, like all these like barrel locks, all these different things or whatever, right? Like you obviously like need maintenance for that. But then the question I'll ask for you is like, you as a guy, as a man, would you not just go for an easy hairstyle that is cheap and affordable to do? Why are you going fancy barrel this, twist that, everything? It's long. Just get dreadlocks or go afro or go low. End of story.
So you're saying that like all the fancy schmancy hairstyles are not a necessity?
It's not a necessity. Absolutely, it's not a necessity. But we know it's not a necessity.
How about girls' braids? Is that a necessity?
I think that's different because if you're growing your hair, you do need protective hairstyles.
Right.
You definitely need protective hairstyles. Like it's otherwise it's just so long for you, you know? Like you need that. So that's a whole different story. But obviously, like as a man, like I think you really don't need your long hair. Like if you want, do it. More power to you.
Yeah,
like, you know, do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to grow your hair, that's a whole different story. You gotta do that. Like, you know, but like you can look good without it. You know, you can look good without it. And I'm not here to speak on women's issues, so I'm just gonna talk stock for the dudes, and that's that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what falls with haircuts and stuff is hair care. Now, I
think they're different. Hair care and haircuts are different.
Well, I agree. Going to a salon versus like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to the hair care that kind of go hand in hand, like is that a monthly necessity?
If you have, I wanted to be careful about what I was gonna say, but fuck it, I really don't care. If you have anything above like 4, maybe even 3B, definitely, right? Because it's very hard for us to maintain our hair. Like, I know that, like, every time I grow my hair, I almost like, why the fuck did I grow my hair? Just because of how annoying it is to maintain my hair, you know? Definitely hair products do matter more. Otherwise, your hair is going to be very knotted, nappy, and really fucking annoying. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, you wear your nappy hair out, kings and queens, you know? But at the same time, like, it's, you know, it's sometimes just annoying to deal with, you know? And that's one of those things, like, especially if you have, like, really bad, like, shrinkage or anything like that. Like, I have really bad shrinkage. Like, when I wake up in the morning, it's like super tight. I have to really pick out my hair. And then, like, you know, like, obviously I don't, because it's tight, you don't want to build up dandruff, all that stuff. Like, you need to actually take care of your hair, like, well there. So in that situation, then I would absolutely agree that I think hair, but obviously to an extent, like, we're not talking, and it's a shame because our hair products tend to be the most expensive hair products, you know, which is really fucking annoying. But it's still, you don't need to go excessive. Like, you don't need to go to like the mega brands or anything like that. Like, obviously it's expensive, but
the issue
like,
as well that you're probably using a lot more product because your hair is a lot thicker.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So like, then you need to be a lot more careful about that and like do whatever. But I try budget it a lot better. You know, obviously, like, if it is becoming like a real big cost in your life and taking a lot of time, consider a different hairstyle that's easier to maintain. Honestly, that's the biggest advice I'd say. You know, like, when I found my long hair annoying, I cut it down again. Like, literally, I just cut it down again, you know, and then I let it grow, and then I cut it down again or whatever. And that's easy because I just go like one all over or whatever, you know, stuff like that, you know. But obviously it's a whole different story if you're actually trying to maintain like a really cool, like really more complex hairstyle. Then have fun with that.
Best of luck. Yeah, like for me, I only have like 3A curls, right? And like right now it's all brushed out because it's day, I don't know, 3-4 after hair wash. And like, if I want my curls to look pretty, it's gonna take product. Like, I need product, right? But like, I have my cheap product that I'm like, okay, these are my day-to-days. But then I have like some specific things that I would use if I want my hair to last a bit longer, if I'm going somewhere and I want them to look extra bouncy. You know, it's like kind of a bit of a different routine, but I wouldn't go through those products as fast. But then there's like, you know, the cheap stuff that I'm like, yeah, I need hair shampoo, I need a good conditioner that are on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like balancing out what you need, what you don't need. I know for the blonde girls it's very hard. Like, you know, you have all this purple shampoo, blue shampoo, pink, whatever it is.
Wasting money.
I know maintaining your blonde hair it's expensive, but it's a choice.
It is a choice. It's a dumb choice. I say that on record. There is no need for you to go blonde if you're a brunette. Brunette is literally better. I don't know why you're faking the blondness, but that's not my personal opinion. Yeah. That's just something I'm saying.
Okay. I think we've gone really, really long with this episode, so I'm not going to cover the others. There were obviously others on the list, but before we wrap up today's episode, give us your vacation prep.
Put your clothes in your bag.
Maintenance.
Oh, maintenance.
Yes, this is what the episode's about.
Oh, yeah. Get a haircut if you're a guy. And I'm going to talk from a guy's perspective because I'm a guy. Get a haircut. Pack your stuff. End of story.
This yours, yeah?
Yeah, that's
all?
Literally all I do. I don't do anything else.
Oh my God, now that I think about it.
That's all I do. And sometimes I don't even get a haircut. Like, sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm fine as I am. Like, you know.
And then I'm like, please go get a haircut.
And I'm like, yeah, that's it.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, honestly, just get a haircut. Max, that's all. How about for you as a lady? For
me, and this is me specifically, I like to wax at home. Buying my own waxing thing at home. See, didn't get into hair removal, but that was like a whole topic that we covered. But wax myself at home or like shave whatever. Usually I wax because it lasts longer. I do my nails. Either I get them done or I do them myself because it's a special time. This is a bit more rare, but occasionally I will buy some clothes for the holiday. Like if it's a bathing suit or if it's like whatever summery.
You don't have enough bathing suits already.
And if it's like something that I don't like that I have, I will buy some.
More of the story is she's like, waste money before your holiday to waste more money on the holiday.
Silly.
literally paying for a holiday before even going to holiday pay.
Don't all the girls say that? It's like, why is the vacation prep more expensive than the actual vacation? Messed up. But yeah, that's occasionally, not always. I like to reuse my clothes. That's why you'll see me wearing similar clothes all the time, because I wash them and then I wear them again. And then the other thing is gym hard, because that's something that everyone can do. That's a maintenance that you can do throughout the whole year.
Yeah, should be doing that around the whole year.
Exactly.
But anyway, let us know what your maintenance is, what you think you should put money on, what you think you shouldn't put money on, what your holiday prep is, what your holiday prep isn't. And also let us know if you like the longer episodes. We tend to not do them because we know people have short attention spans.
But then, like, everyone who I've talked to is always like, oh, I wish it was longer.
Yeah, I guess the people who actually listen to the actual podcast probably enjoy it, and they have the attention span because they listen to podcasts. But we always try to, like, not intimidate people who are, like, trying to get into the podcast or whatever.
But look at Joe Rogan with 2-3 hours.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan's also Joe Rogan. Like, he's literally set that precedent from the very get-go. Like, our episodes actually used to be longer. We used to do like an hour 20, an hour 30 at the very start. But now we shorted it to about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, because we realized that, because especially I've seen in the analytics, like, you guys say you listen to it, but, like, the drop off is massive.
No, but I think, like, people sometimes watch half now, half later. I do that with podcasts. Yeah, I will not sit down and listen. It's like a background noise whenever I'm doing something and I'm listening. So I get it, but, like,
but then you fall into the pit hole of, like, okay, if they're like, oh, do you have them, they just never come back.
There are times, there are times.
So, like, but let us know what you guys think.
Like obviously, we'll have short episodes, we'll have longer episodes. It's just the way of life, This one was particularly long, but yeah, I hope we influenced you to de-influence you. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time.
Peace.